Let me, at the onset, express gratitude to the government of Brazil for extending the invitation to us, and to me in particular, to Nigeria, and to highlight the problem of poverty and hunger. The session devoted to fighting poverty and hunger. I am from Nigeria. It's better to give you the true picture of what's going on in Africa. We have terrorism challenges, insecurity challenges that are preventing farmers to even go to their farm.
That was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu speaking at the G20 Rio de Janeiro, Brazil summit, where he was invited, speaking about terrorism and poverty in Nigeria, talking about the fact that farmers cannot go to farm. But when he said this, the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, did not accuse him of demarcating Nigeria, that he shouldn't have gone to Brazil to go and tell them that terrorists are stopping farmers from going to farm in Nigeria. They didn't say that to him, but he had the mind to say that to Peter Obi, that Peter Obi was demarcating Nigeria. What was the offense of Peter Obi? Peter Obi went to United States, where he was invited by Johns Hopkins University to deliver a lecture, and he spoke about the parallel between poverty and leadership. And Peter Obi talked about the fact that in 1990, the poverty rate of Nigeria, of about 50 million Nigerians in poverty, was lower than the poverty you have in China and Vietnam at the time. But looking at where we are today, Peter Obi asks, what was it that made these countries to have moved ahead of Nigeria? And he put it squarely on bad leadership as being responsible for the increase in poverty in Nigeria, while China and Vietnam had been able to conquer poverty to a level never seen before. That was the offense of Peter Obi, and Governor Sanwo-Olu attacked him frontally. Now, if you read his statement, which he should, you will discover that according to the This Day newspaper, it was a statement he personally signed. And I will tell you the reason why he personally signed that. The reason Sanwo-Olu personally signed that statement was a failed attempt to salvage his sinking political career, using Peter Obi as the point to get himself redeemed by Tinubu, his godfather. In fact, I wrote a piece which I put in my Facebook wall, and the Abuja Enquirer newspaper, their people, when they saw it on my wall, they decided to publish it. So I will put a link of that, my article, which they publish in by Abuja Enquirer, so that you can read the full detail of my expression, because this video may not be long enough to express everything I want to say about how Sanwo-Olu is trying to ingratiate himself to Bola Ahmed Tinubu after he had been sidelined for alleged sellout for betraying his boss, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So his attack on Peter Obi was not an attack that was based on altruistic reason, because he was questioning Peter Obi's patriotism for going abroad to talk about poverty in Nigeria. But you saw what even President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in Brazil. He was talking about poverty, he was talking about terrorism affecting Nigeria and Africa. And when you had Tinubu there talking about that farmers cannot go to farm, where in Africa do you have this problem more than Nigeria? Okay, so Sanwo-Olu, having been found in a terrible situation politically, because his political career is on a sinking side. How did it come about? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got intel information that Sanwo-Olu financed Peter Obi or contributed campaign fund to Peter Obi and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, and even to Atiku Abubakar. It was an allegation that Peter Obi denied. And it's an allegation I believe Peter Obi, because one, if they contribute, there's no way Peter Obi would have known that any money coming from anybody, especially from a governor, because Sanwo-Olu as governor is not likely to contribute to Peter Obi's fund using his own name. So maybe some other people, the money was passed through them to his campaign. You know, people can contribute, anybody can contribute money. But how did this come about? It was because Aisha Achimogo, who is said to be an associate of Sanwo-Olu, it was alleged that the money passed through Aisha Achimogo to Atiku Abubakar campaign and Peter Obi campaign. But let's be clear, Peter Obi denied receiving any funding from them. And Peter Obi is right, because I know that Sanwo-Olu himself will not send any money to opponents of Tinubu with his own name. Okay, so this Achimogo now is being wanted, has been declared wanted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So Sanwo-Olu is unsettled because his name has allegedly been associated with this woman. And this woman is still on the run. She has not returned back to Nigeria to answer questions to the FCC. Again, note that Sanwo-Olu went to court to file a restricting order on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Why would Tinubu's EFCC force Sanwo-Olu to go and file a restricting order in the court in Abuja, telling the courts that they should stop EFCC from arresting him when he leaves office in 2027. He said that the EFCC is planning to arrest him when he leaves office. He alleged that EFCC had been harassing his officials and his close aides to reveal information about him. These are the things that Sanwo-Olu filed in court. Okay, and when the matter got to the courts declared that it was premature. So you can see that Sanwo-Olu is embattled, he's unsettled as somebody who is supposed to be close to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So he had been unsettled by that situation. And to show you that his godfather don't suffer fools gladly. He know that Tinubu's, like other godfathers, they don't take disloyalty lightly. They reward loyalty tremendously. And so do they punish betrayal. So Sanwo-Olu is in a bad situation right now, politically. That much was also demonstrated when Sanwo-Olu engineered the removal of Obasa as the speaker, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu from Abuja returned him back to humiliate him. So you can see the situation that Sanwo-Olu is. So it was because of that situation. And you know now, in Nigeria today, if you want to show Tinubu that you love him, or you want to be close to him, or that you have repented from your sin against him, you must be seen to be attacking Peter Obi. And that was exactly what Nigerians have seen played out in Sanwo-Olu's attack. It wasn't an altruistic attack on Peter Obi. In any case, even the attack he made on Peter Obi had no substance. He said that Peter Obi has no moral right to talk because he was among those who he created the poverty in Nigeria. And then he referenced that when Peter Obi was governor, that poverty was higher, was lower, then Peter Obi increased, there was increase in poverty. And the whole thing is a lie. How do you know that it was a lie? Because even ab initio, if you read his statement, which he personally signed, so that Tinubu will know that it is directly from him, not an aid. Because what he said there, he could have detailed his chief press secretary to sign it. He could have detailed his chief of staff to sign it, but he personally signed it. Why? Because he wanted to ingratiate himself to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who had put him at an arm's length because of his alleged betrayal. And Tinubu showed his hand when he returned Obasa and humiliated him. And since that time, Sanwo-Olu had not found his voice. He had been very quiet. But this Peter Obi speaking at Johns Hopkins University was an opportunity for him to show that he can speak for the administration. And Tinubu administration has the largest array of communicators any president has ever had in Nigeria. He had about 13 aides that are in charge of attacking anybody that comes after Tinubu. So he has enough men at the villa, presidential villa Abuja, to respond to Peter Obi. He doesn't need Sanwo-Olu, but Sanwo-Olu had to put himself out there because the idea was to salvage himself, to salvage his sinking political career. Okay, so you can read the details of my article, which was published by the Abuja Inquirer. First of all, let me say that Abuja Inquirer people, they approached me and said they like what they saw on my Facebook wall. They want to put it out in their newspaper. I said, okay, go ahead. And I will put the link so that you can read the full details of the article. I believe you will enjoy it. So basically, what I said in the article and what I'm saying here is that Nigerians should not take Sanwo-Olu seriously in his attack on Peter Obi. It was a selfish interest intervention. It was not altruistic. He said that Peter Obi did not exhibit patriotism. But Peter Obi is actually the person who exhibits patriotism by speaking the truth about our country instead of whitewashing ourselves at the international level when we needed help to redeem ourselves. Okay, and you now, from the video you saw at the beginning of this video, you now saw that Sanwo-Olu himself is being hypocritical. He can't say he was not aware that Tinubu went to Brazil and talked about that terrorists are stopping Nigerians from going to their farms. And even after saying that in Brazil, what effort had Tinubu made to stop the terrorists from attacking farmers in Nigeria? Has he done anything to stop it? No. So at the end of the day, what Sanwo-Olu has done, what others like him had done, to attack Peter Obi, hoping that Tinubu will appreciate and bring him back into the fold. The same way he has done to Reno Omokri, the same way he had done to Daniel Boala, those who are against him before. If they became change people, they have to show it by attacking Peter Obi. And that was exactly what Sanwo-Olu did. And to show you that many of the things he talking about that Peter Obi didn't build any school and all that, these are things he lifted from people like Reno Omokri. And when Reno Omokri became your source of information, that was why the article, the statement by Sanwo-Olu, which he personally signed, was full of factual errors. For instance, he said that Peter Obi became governor in 2007. Whereas the truth was that Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State in 2006. So by that kind of factual errors, how do you even begin to believe the statistics he lifted from Reno Omokri and all these propagandas? That's why it doesn't make sense. That was why even addressing the issue that poverty, Tinubu reduced poverty in Lagos and Peter Obi didn't reduce poverty in Anambra State when they were governors, is neither here nor there, because ab initio, if he cannot get the time that Peter Obi became governor right, why should you believe that he will get the statistics right, which actually he didn't get them right? Okay, so at the end of the day, this is basically a video to show that Sanwo-Olu did not say the truth about Peter Obi, and that his attack on Peter Obi is not altruistic. It is selfish. It was politically motivated to redeem himself in the eyes of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But as I said in the article in question, it is a failed bid. Tinubu don't suffer fools gladly. He's likely not going to use Peter Obi to get back to the good reckonings of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That was why I titled the article, Sanwo-Olu's Attack on Peter Obi, a failed bid to salvage a sinking political career. I don't know what you think about this, but whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.